Right. Well, welcome everyone to our Wellness Wednesday continuing education. My name is Des Gibbs, and I'm super excited to bring you this information because I feel like it is extremely important for our health and wellness and long-term goals, which we are going to talk about. So I'm going to need everyone to have a piece of paper at hand, very close at hand, and a pen because you're going to have some homework to do. All right. So I have to say that this topic brings me so much joy to discuss. I, first of all, have the blessing of loving my job. I'm a holistic personal trainer. That's where I am right now, my training studio. And every day I get the privilege of helping people get closer to their goals. But one of the things I enjoy the most is helping people realize their power. So each of you have the power to be powerful or not. Now, have you ever heard the quote, genetics load the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger? So, yes, the choice is yours. Do you want a powerful life or not? So, let's get into it, right? So, have you ever helped someone elderly put groceries in their car? Or maybe you've heard of an individual falling and being unable to get up. And then on the flip side of that, have you ever been impressed as you watched a grandmother run and play with her grandchildren? Or maybe you were so surprised when someone told you their age because you thought they were 20 years younger. So, in the first example, maybe you would assume, oh, those elderly people, they just have bad genetics, or that's what happens as we age. But is it genetics or is it lifestyle? I have some statistics here that 28% of adults over 50 years old reported no physical activity aside from their regular job over the last month. Then 95% of older adults have at least one serious health condition, and nearly 80% have two or more. So, how you live now definitely has an impact on how you live later. We should want to do everything in our power to not be in the 95% in that statistic, right? So, thinking of those examples and these two women in these pictures, would it surprise you to know that both of them are in their 70s? The biggest difference between the two of them is what they did 10, 20, 30 years ago. So, yes, it is lifestyle that pulls the trigger. So, if you see yourself as an active, traveling 70 or 80-year-old in the future, I love it. I applaud you and I'm so excited for you. But if those things are difficult for you now, we have some work to do to get you there. But don't worry because any improvement in your fitness level at any age can have a profound effect on your future fitness. So, this discussion is not just for people in their 20s and 30s, this is for everyone. So, I told you get a piece of pen and paper or a piece of paper and pen ready because you have an exercise to do. I need you to think about 3 physical things you want to be able to do in the last decade of your life. And please be specific. Specific things. This could be anything you want. Maybe it's the strength to pick up your grandchild. You want to be able to walk a mile on the beach or maybe live without assistance. But please be specific. I'll give you a few minutes to write that down. So while you finish writing, I'm going to tell you my list. The top 3 things on my list, at least. I would like to be able to run a mile at a moderate pace. I want to have the stamina to travel around Europe with my carry-on luggage. And I want to be able to jump into the water from my boat and climb the ladder without assistance. So why is this list so important? What's the purpose of this exercise? Well, I believe if you have the end goal in mind, how you want to live in your 70s, 80s, maybe 90s and on, that we can reverse engineer how to reach these goals through adjusting our lifestyle now. You know, science has shown us 100%, we know that our day-to-day function will decline as we get older. In fact, beginning at age 30, the body naturally starts to lose 3 to 5% of muscle mass per decade. If we allow severe worsening of muscle mass by not doing anything to combat that loss, it's going to cause trouble with our daily activities like standing from a chair, walking, or twisting the lid off a jar. And I think it's safe to say that if you wrote down your goals, it probably involved more than just opening a pickle jar, right? So, what can we do to actually reach these goals as we age? Well, we know that physical activity is the number one predictor of longevity. So, we have to embrace movement. Yes, we need to build and maintain muscle mass through regular movement. Now, many people think of muscle as this. We've got Arnold or CrossFit maybe, but it's also the pictures on the right. Being able to play tennis or exercise when we are older. I often hear from clients or people who maybe are thinking about exercising. Well, I walk. I'm a walker. And I think there's an aspect of that that is great. But again, why am I putting so much emphasis on muscle? Because vanity or looks aside, you have to have that muscle mass built up. So as it decreases that 3 to 5% with age, we will be able to reach those goals. It's critical for your longevity and overall wellness. And muscles do a lot of other amazing metabolic work that most people are unaware of. I've just pointed out 3 here that first of all, ideal muscle mass to body fat ratio helps maintain a healthy metabolism and blood sugar levels. So first, we have metabolic activity. People with more muscle mass use more glucose and calories. So basically, the more muscle mass you have, you burn more calories while you're not working. And I'm cool with that. And then we have glucose processing. Muscles process glucose naturally, especially when they're stronger and they're used at regular intervals more regularly. And then glucose removal. Active muscles can help prevent glucose spikes and improve glucose levels throughout the day. So, with that in mind, good muscle health relates to good overall metabolic health, which really relates to good health for your entire body. So we have the why building muscle is important for us to age powerfully, but now we have to jump into the how. So you've probably heard this quote as well, with great power comes great responsibility. So there are some amazing powers that we have living in a world where almost everything is at our fingertips with our phones right here or on our computers. But there's advantages and disadvantages. So from your phone, we can order our groceries, dinner, change your thermostat, run a business, and that is incredible. But all of that is being done without moving our feet, right? So we actually have the responsibility to be sure that we are active and doing the things needed to also maintain our health on the other side of that. So where do busy entrepreneurs, moms, men, anybody, where do we find the time to squeeze in these ways to improve strength and muscle mass? Well, if I could pick only 3 things to focus on, it would be adequate exercise, workout intensity, and your protein intake. So let's break them down. First, exercise. Now, maybe that word kind of makes you cringe or like you start sweating just thinking about it. But first of all, what is exercise? It's activity requiring physical effort carried out to sustain or improve health and fitness. Well, it's not so bad when you put it like that, okay? So exercise can also be a wide range of activities, from gardening to Zumba to hiking to strength training. It's not just a bunch of bros in the gym bench pressing, all right? We need to be healthy in a variety of ways, cardiovascularly, metabolically, muscularly. So a few recommendations: if you love group fitness classes, by all means, go for it. Your group certified fitness instructor should be capable of helping you get through your class properly and safely. Now, if you like to do your movement outside, I am all for it, but I do want you to schedule it with detail, like when, where, how often, and what intensity level. And then lastly, I recommend finding a good personal trainer that helps guide you, especially if your goal is to build muscle, because there are small changes and adjustments that a good personal trainer should be giving you as you do the exercises that will drastically improve the results. Next, we have intensity. Exercise intensity is the amount of energy your body expends during physical activity. So the ideal intensity level for you depends on your fitness goals and your current level of fitness. And here are 4 things to keep in mind. First, the rep range is a very useful concept. Our goal should be to stimulate muscle growth, and this requires performing exercises with an amount of weight that's so taxing, you really can only complete a certain amount of reps with proper form. In general, we're shooting for 8 to 12. Now, if you're performing that set of reps, by the 12th rep, you should be unable or nearly unable to perform another rep. Very rarely are you going to have more in the tank to do more. If you can do more, then you probably need to increase your weight because you're obviously stronger than you think. Next, we have proper routine. So here I love compound movements like squats, deadlifts, pull-ups. You get great bang for your buck for time spent in the gym with a movement like that. But there's also a place for a simple bicep curl and a tricep extension, moves like that as well. But there's also modifications. So if you're like, no way can I do a push-up, there's modifications for it. And that's where a personal trainer can help you do them properly as well. Now, last, I think a key to a great workout and results is the tempo. We've probably all seen people, or maybe we've been those people that are doing the, what I like to call the fast and the furious exercises. They're just repping them out, right? Well, I want you to slow down anywhere from 2 to 3 seconds up and 2 to 3 seconds down will allow for time under tension and putting your muscle under the proper stress for growth. So if you're truly doing the correct things, these things, then you should see results. And if you aren't, then you may need the help of a professional to figure out what's going on and what can really change the game for you. Now we have protein intake. This is a huge building block of our nutrition and our ability to build muscle. So proteins are the main building blocks of our body. And evidence suggests that eating enough protein can increase the number of calories you burn by boosting your metabolic rate, which is the calories out, and then reducing your appetite, the calories in. And then a 2020 review and meta-analysis concluded that a long-term high protein diet could increase weight loss, reduce the risk of gaining weight back, and help prevent unnecessary weight gain in the first place. So I believe that the recommended daily allowance, the RDA for protein, is drastically under what it should be, especially if your goal is to lose weight and build muscle. I recommend having a goal to take in 0.7 to 1 gram per body pound. So if you weigh 150 grams, it should be between 105 and 150 grams of protein daily. Proper protein intake is going to assure that you're eating enough to actually build the muscle. You need to eat more protein than you would if you were just doing light exercises or sedentary. And your body needs this energy to become stronger, help your muscles recover and grow. So here's a quick list of a few foods that are pretty decent in their protein amounts, just to help you put it into perspective of what you may need to up your protein and start eating a little more. Now, I know this seems like a lot of information, but we have tools to help us along the way, and then we're going to do a recap as well. So some wonderful tools that doTERRA has provided for us are first and foremost the deep blue line. This helps with muscle soreness that you're probably going to get after implementing these suggestions because, well, it's working and your muscles are growing. So that's what happens. You will get sore, and it's okay. That cooling, warming effect of the deep blue oil helps provide temporary relief from discomfort. and the convenience of the Deep Blue stick for on-the-go application. I mean, I keep one in my gym bag and one here and one in my locker back there. They are everywhere. That menthol delivers a really great temporary relief for minor aches and muscle and joint pains. So for those of us who are maybe playing sports or doing our strength training, I really feel like this is a great choice for you to keep on hand. I also keep one on my nightstand in case my feet are sore at the end of the day or I feel any head tension coming on. And then I also love the tip to store one in the freezer for an extra cooling sensation. So if you do get delayed onset muscle soreness, aka sore the next day, then Deep Blue Rub is my go-to. And if you are one of my older, wiser friends, I would suggest using the Deep Blue polyphenol complex internally. So if you have regular sore bodies or some aches and pains going on, this is going to help put those into check and experience soothing relief from the inside out. Next, we have the MetaPower line. This touches on so many aspects of our health, but we got to focus. We only have so much time, so I'm going to talk about 3 of the things. First, the collagen with NMN. It's unique to doTERRA's collagen because it helps generate NAD, which is central to metabolism. That's right. We want to get our metabolism moving and processing our nutrients. Our body produces it, but that NAD decreases as we age. So it also has 9 types of collagen and high bioavailability. Our body can actually use the collagen that we're putting into it. So it's much more than just hair, skin, and nails. It's joint health, cognitive function, cellular function. It's incredible. So if you're over the age of 30, when that NAD goes down, you need to add this back in. Next, we have the MetaPower Assist. The hidden jewel of this product is the berberine. It can help, and there are studies backing this up, that it helps regulate metabolism, improve insulin sensitivity for those with normal range blood sugar levels, can positively alter the gut microbiota, decrease fat cell growth, and reduce fat cell storage. I'm here for that, right? So that is a great thing to add into your arsenal of tools. Lastly, the recharge electrolytes. There's something I think everyone should be using. 75% of the population is dehydrated and 75% is lacking in magnesium. So it's not just about, hydration is not just about taking in water. It's a lot of other things like magnesium, calcium, potassium, and sodium. And the recharge puts that back in. So my favorite way to take this is first thing in the morning with a full glass of water. And I actually add my collagen into it and drink it while I'm getting ready pretty quickly in the morning. And it has a great flavor and easy peasy 2-in-1. Next, we have the dreaded protein intake. How do you get that much protein in your diet? You were probably sitting there trying to do the math, I know. So first, I suggest spreading it throughout your day. The last thing you want is to look at what you ate and then realize you have 70 grams still left to eat at 8 p.m., right? So shoot for anywhere between 25 and 30. I usually go a little higher, 30 and 40 grams per meal. And then you're going to be in a good spot by the end of the day. But we also want to add in your snacks and a protein shake to get you closer. So that's where I recommend the doTERRA protein. The chocolate and whey are delicious from cows that are pasture-fed, hormone-free. And the whey protein in particular, if you can tolerate it, because it's one of the most nutritionally complete proteins. It's highly digestible because of its amino acid profile. So this shake provides one scoop provides around 20 grams of protein. It's sweetened with monk fruit, and it's just good. And who doesn't want a little cheat to get closer to their protein levels, right? So let's review our 3 keys to aging powerfully. First of all, adequate exercise. Walking is not enough. You must incorporate strength training or resistance training if you really want to age powerfully. My recommendation is at least 2 to 3 times a week. You need to give attention to all muscle groups throughout the week and also make sure you have time for recovery. And of course, keep close at hand your Deep Blue product line. Now, workout intensity. We're using that 8 to 12 rep range, and it should be challenging. If you get to the 12th rep and can do more, then you need to either slow down or increase the weight. The goal here is to challenge the muscle. Last, our protein intake. Sorry, your 2-egg breakfast is just not enough. That's only 12 grams of protein. So our goals, again, are anywhere between 25 and 35 grams at least per meal, because we're shooting for the 0.7 to 1 gram per body pound. So I have another exercise to make some actionable steps here. A goal without a plan is just a wish. We need to set SMART goals. So is being healthier a SMART goal? Well, no, because it's not specific where you're stating the objective clearly. Measurable. You need to understand how you're going to reach healthier, right? Achievable. It needs to be realistic and attainable, relevant to your current situation, and also time bound with a start and an end date. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to write down or fix one of your goals into a SMART goal. Okay, go ahead and take a few seconds. So instead of be healthier, how about I would like to increase my muscle mass and decrease my body fat percentage by 5% in the next 12 weeks. Now that is a SMART goal. It hits all of those markers: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So I truly hope you can all walk away from this session with a few things. Having found your power to set these SMART goals so you can embrace movement and age powerfully. So I want to thank you all for coming to this. I feel like it's a lot of information packed in there, but very valuable and can be a game changer to your overall wellness goals. So I'm on Instagram as Des_your holistic PT. And I run a few like weight loss studies monthly that just helps you kind of hone in on these goals even more. And I'd love to help you support your own program that you have with doTERRA products with the person you're working with, and help you find your power. So if you have any questions, feel free to come off mute. And if not, we'll stop here.